Hi, everybody. Thanks, Alicia, for that introduction and getting us started this morning. I'd like to echo her sentiments in welcoming you all to the Community Engagement Studio Virtual Training Summit. As you guys probably imagine, our original intent was to be hosting you here in person, and that would have been here in Nashville, Tennessee, which today is about 70 degrees and rainy. So last night I was thinking that if we were in person, we would have probably recommended some things for our out of town guests to do while they were in Nashville. And so this might have included visiting some of our famous music venues, sampling some Nashville hot chicken, and then maybe walking or running along some of our trails to offset some of the calories from that hot chicken sampling. So for those that have not visited Nashville before, we welcome you to come again at another time. Maybe we can get together sometime in the near future, but as it were, we're here today in this virtual space, and the technology is allowing us to still be able to get together. And I know everybody's really familiar with this, this type of convening at this point. So before we move further, I'd like to focus a little bit on, why we're here in this virtual space together. This has been highlighted in many of our summit materials, but I just wanted to mention them now to kind of level set us for the next 2 days. So we all know that racial and ethnic minorities experience disproportionate burdens when it comes to health outcomes, and we all can agree that this has persisted for way too long. We also know that diverse communities, racial and ethnic minorities are underrepresented in research. And this for sure slows down our efforts to kind of develop, implement, translate interventions that can mitigate some of these disparities. And oftentimes when we're talking about this underrepresentation in research, we're talking about underrepresentation as research study participants. But underrepresentation in other aspects, like in the design, implementation, dissemination also slows us down when it comes to mitigating disparities. So, and if nothing else, I believe we can all agree that this pandemic has shown us that we can't afford to slow down in this area. So, lives literally hang in the balance. So the purpose of the summit is really to share this community engagement model. It's just one of the many ways that we can engage racial and ethnic minorities and other diverse groups in research as part of our overall efforts to address disparities. So I would encourage you that as you engage in the training over the next couple of days to think about how you, within your own sphere of influence, your own position, can leverage what you learned here today to address these disparities through engaging stakeholders in meaningful ways. So now, before I turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Tiffany Israel, I'd like to do some acknowledgements. And right now you can see on our screen, we have some of our pictures of our glam squad. They look like these are our glamour shots, right? This is a beautiful group here. And so this is our team. We have 3 different committees. We have a logistics committee who you guys have kind of communicated with in terms of save the dates and registration. They are a really fantastic group because one of their jobs too is just kind of listen to all the ideas we had, and they just kind of made it happen. So our logistics subcommittee, oversight and implementation, they are responsible for the great training you'll get. You'll see many of them as your conveners and facilitators today. And then our expert panel prep and dissemination subcommittee. We've done some work with expert preparing our panels for tomorrow. We've done some early work in creating some dissemination materials that you'll receive post-summit. So I just want to say kudos to our team and thanks to everyone for the hard work. We got a little bit to go afterwards, but this is the team that's making it all happen. I'd next like to kind of acknowledge all of you and all of our attendees at the summit. So we have about 27 states and territories represented, 50 different institutions, including someone from the University of Cambridge. Yay there. So reaching audiences everywhere. And I also want to finally, of course, to acknowledge our funder, Patient-Centered Outcomes Research Institute of PCORI, and particularly their Eugene Washington PCORI Engagement Award Program. So in addition to kind of financial support, they provided with kind of programmatic support along the way, and really, really grateful for of them facilitating what you're going to engage in over the next couple of days. And so I'm looking forward to a great 2 days. And I echo Alicia's comments about you guys are going to be getting training from the best of the best. And so if nothing else, I will now turn it over to Tiffany to take us to get some more remarks and get us moving forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie. Hi, everybody. So as Stephanie said, our intent was to do this in person, and I will tell you, I feel like I am way better in person than on Zoom. So I'll appreciate your patience and your understanding today. Our vibe for the day is collaborative. So please take note. We've got a wide range of folks in attendance today. Our hope is that we get to utilize your perspective. We want to make this time together amazing. We've intentionally built in time for networking, some cross-learning. For those who are in attendance who have some studio experience, we are going to lean on you. We want you to share your lessons learned. We ask that you add to the discussion as you can so that we can all walk away better equipped to implement the CES model. Every time I talk to one of you across the country who's piloting or already dead into this model, I learned something from you. So I'm hoping that you guys will share that today. I think it will enrich the experience for everyone. And then lastly, we are about to spend a lot of time on Zoom together. And our team really wants this to be an experience that you're going to reflect on and think, wow, that was worth my time. So we are operating under the principle today of take space and make space, just to set some context and some ground rules. We want to hear from everyone. So I'm encouraging those of you who are usually talkers, you are my people, make space and encourage other colleagues to share. And then for those of you who are usually quiet, I'm going to encourage you to find your voice and take some space today. I have found in my career that it's generally the quiet ones that have some of the most profound thoughts and lessons learned to share because you spend a lot of time listening. So that's my hope for today, just to set some feelings for our vibe. Does everybody have their snack magic boxes nearby? Yeah, okay, that's cool. No, some people don't have their snack magic boxes. You might have to take a second and go pull it next to you because we got a long day ahead of us. So I encourage you we are in Zoom, and if we were in person, you would really feel the informal nature of our trainings. We encourage you to, if you have to run to the restroom or take a comfort break, I stole that from my UT colleagues or my Utah colleagues, or if you need to grab a glass of water, eat on camera, I'm here for it. So we're going to be best friends by the end of these 2 days. That's my hope. And so with that, we will go ahead and get started. Our team, we're working on our slides even into the dead of the night. I think we made changes. So I'm just really quickly, I know you've all probably already, you're go-getters, you've reviewed the objectives for the day, but just a quick reminder, we're going to essentially be covering all of the essential elements of developing and implementing a full-blown CES program. So you're going to have the opportunity to watch a live CES. So you're going to get to see in real time, real participants sharing their feedback based on their own healthcare journey. You'll get to see all of my flubs in real time. So if I make any mistakes, we will absolutely talk about them after the studio. And then you also get a lot of opportunity to network, practice several of the new skills today in breakout groups. We're going to set some quick context on the CES model, and then we're going to dive right into how to navigate planning with researchers, that can be some tricky space. How do you do the heavy lifting of recruiting finite populations, orienting community experts in this new virtual world? Prior to the CS, Utah will be leading us in a scribe exercise to prepare you to take your own notes. And then we'll have some interactive breaks and let you practice preparing to facilitate. So we've done our best to combine some in-person and virtual aspects of the studio. So hopefully there'll be some new knowledge for folks who are familiar with studios today. And then the last piece is tomorrow we're going to wrap up by discussing the value of data to support our work. Data, data, data. We are all research driven, right? That's the world we work in. And so having that data, having those publications are so valuable to funding our work. And then lastly, we also have some time for connecting and sharing and networking. I think you all will find that this is a really hyper-connected space. We have a CES, a doctors group. We do a lot of networking and a lot of talking, and that group's been on hold while we prepared for this training, but we're hoping post-training we are gonna just really get down and get some stuff done that we need to for 2021. Any questions about the objectives in the chat? Will someone monitor chat for me? And just stop me if I if I miss someone. All right, well then next slide, we'll dive right in.